Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, or indeed welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. The place where we make fun of the morons we see out here on the road, a bit like this donut who's just come up the motorway slip road the wrong way into 2 lanes of oncoming traffic. How do you do that? Some people climb the ladder of success. The only thing he climbs is into his bed every night knowing he's disappointed his parents again. Or this plank that just pulls to the right at wheel who thinks the mirror signal manoeuvre is an 80s dance move. Now, nothing quite says I come from the shallow end of the gene pool and I've got the visual ability of a lump of coal what's in a sack as not seeing the car in front of you and just shunting it in the rear. How do you do that? Maybe someone swapped his eye drops for super glue this morning. On board with Seth looking out of his back window, and trust me when I say there is no better way to display to the public that you've got the intelligence of a Frey bent or steak and kidney pie and you're having electric shock treatment therapy twice a week at the local hospital as thinking you're on a motorbike and you just go up the outside of the traffic just to avoid sitting in the traffic queue. That gimp is to intelligence what flypaper is to a blue bottle. Here's another mug. Small car, small IQ. Look, 2 lanes of traffic because he's in his little smart car. He just thinks he's going to make his own little 3rd lane. That idiot's thought process has more delays than Avanti West Coast, EasyJet and Ryanair all put together. Now, we all know about the 4 circles of privilege, but even they have to yield to a moron who's got as much road sense as a squashed hedgehog. On board with Darren going to IKEA with his wife, wishing he didn't have to go, and he should have been careful what he wished for as a bus shunts him in the rear. IKEA catalogue gets thrown all over the dashboard. The only place he's going is to ask the bus driver why he's got the visual ability of a farmyard rat with his head stuck up a dead cow's arse. No IKEA for Darren today. Here we go, Beavis and Butthead, or should I say Beavis and Bunghole in the Black Golf GTI here. Keep your eye on the driver's side, yeah? You're going to see the first non-reader as he's driving along throw something out. Bottle of water, there it comes, bosh. That's very safety conscious, just what you want flying around the motorway. Now keep your eye on the left, yeah? His spy smoking, special brew drinking mate is throwing stuff out the windows there. They probably got the hump because he's actually sticking to the speed limit in the roadworks there, 50 as you can see. And we all know that he got average speed limits there, but that is far too complex for him to comprehend. And there's his mate pops out the window like whack-a-mole and just throws something else at the car. But hang on, we ain't seen the last of whack-a-mole as he just pops out again and just dashes something else. Yeah, definitely a pair of future doctors or neurosurgeons there. But this social reprobate there, that right there is a human equivalent of a genital wart. Okay, so from whack-a-mole to a gormless soul, and this from Mark W. Now, I believe this is up by Liverpool, and this road here on the right goes up towards Liverpool Airport and Ring Road South, as it says on the road. Well, it does to most people, but not to this moron who's got a brain as useful as a wet sponge in a house fire, as he just comes down there the wrong way. How do you do that? Unbelievable. What a muppet. Here we are on board with Moose, and he's just going to pull up at this zebra crossing to let this woman go across. But keep your eye to the right, because there's some brainless idiot who doesn't know what a zebra crossing is for, and he doesn't know what them zigzag lines means. If stupidity was a sport, that moron would be the opening ceremony. And there's another massive helmet that definitely falls into the stupid category, and this from Ali Raj. Keep your eye to the back. As you can see, everyone's making their way to the traffic light. Everyone apart from this donut who thinks it's just fine and dandy to go up the outside. And just as school wasn't obviously his thing, neither are red traffic lights, as he just goes through, treats it like a mini roundabout or something. And as far as brain electrical activity goes, his couldn't power a flickering light bulb in an old attic. This from Bob B on a very dark 2-way carriageway, but this idiot's just made it into a 3-way carriageway as he goes to the left, goes on the grass and gets back on the road. Let's have another look. This is where the idiot squeezed in, overcooks it, overshoots the road, ends up on the grass, and at this moment in time he's touching cloth more than a Savile Row tailor, but somehow ends up back on the road in one piece, albeit with more hot fudge in his pants and a family-sized molten lava cake. His idea of quick thinking is blinking twice. Okay, so got 2 clips from Mr. Thunder here. First one is this mentally regressed cretin who thinks it's okay to undertake using the hard shoulder, and if he carries on like that he will be needing an undertaker. And the second one is this SpongeBob wannabe who's got the road sense of an ice cream cone who just goes from the slip road, cuts across the chevrons just to rejoin the motorway. What a tit. This from Brian Tim. We got a couple of idiots here who are just too good to sit in traffic queues because of their upstanding in the community and their achievements in life. The black car doesn't see the white car stop and just hits him in the rear. Easily done when your brain works as well as a rubber steak knife, I suppose. He weren't even going that fast, was he? How could you not stop in time? I wonder what that white sticker says on the back window. Keep your distance because I'm dumber than I look. Hang on a minute, if you think the driver's all smoke and no fireplace, wait till you see the passenger get out. Here he comes. He's the boss, he's the governor, here he goes. Jeans hanging round his arse, waving his little arms around, walking like he's got a lump of coal stuck up his arse. What a lemon slice. On board with Richard G, just going around this little intersection, and he is in the right lane because he's heading towards the M11. But the moron in the little black car who's got the intellectual presence of a missing jigsaw piece, he definitely weren't in the right lane, and he almost took the front of Richard's car out. It's never ending, isn't it? These morons just don't stop. It's like this one from Steve T. This is it in this red Golf. His life must be like living in a film where the subtitles are badly out of sync, always mixed up and never makes any sense. Just cut straight up the inside of his truck. First class melt. Now, nothing quite says I'm so inbred I'm basically 50% flower, 25% cousin and 25% uncle as jumping in my old BMW 1 Series and driving like a right prick and nearly taking everybody out. This is from JB. Now, keep your eye on that small white van on the right because he treats his wing mirrors the same way as a vegan treats a couple of steaks he's had in the freezer for ages. He knows he's got them, he knows where they are, but he just never uses them. Just pull straight across and hits a motor on the front wing there. If common sense were furniture, he's sitting on milk crates. This is from Mohammed and he's sitting at these red traffic lights just waiting for them to turn green. That's it, they've gone green so he can go. Now normally that means that you can go, but that doesn't take into account when you've got a backward delinquent coming towards you in a BMW who's just come through his red light. And of course he goes into standard delinquent reprobate mode of just flashing his lights and expecting you to back up. Not today, you goldfish brain sap. Mohammed ain't having none of it. And because this moron's got the mental clarity of a steamed up bathroom mirror, he thinks it's absolutely fine and normal to drive around off his nut sniffing nitrous oxide out of a balloon. Well, at least he's got half an excuse. This next moron, as the only excuse he's got is he's got a brain that works as well as a chocolate smoke alarm. Look at this muppet. Look, big massive empty car park. You park your car miles away from anyone. You think you're safe until this moron turns up, reverses halfway through the car park about 200 yards just so he can smash into your car and drive off. Unbelievable. He's definitely all echo and no voice, that moron. Guys, if you like what you're seeing, I'll put a smile on your face. Please hit that little like and subscribe button down below if you ain't done it already, because it really does help me out. Right, let's have a look at some idiots on some bikes. Okay, so first off, we got this little gem from Ali Raj. The moron opens the door. The Dummeroo rider don't see nothing as per usual and just kisses the outside of that door. Let's have another look. Now, there's two idiots in this clip. First one is the Uber idiot, the driver of the car who never checked to make sure it was okay for his passenger to open the door. And the second one is the paralysed from the neck up delivery rider who never sees anything, but he's seen it now and he just goes over the door and kisses the door. And at this moment in time, he's looking as confused as a goldfish the first time he sees a disco ball. Here I'm on Oxford Street, and first we got this free-wheel, 2 brain cell, human herpes scab. Then we got this little non-reading school avoider who thinks the highway code is a cheat code for Mario Kart, as he nearly ends up under the front of me cab. This from JR. Now, as you can see, the conditions are a bit damp, a little bit icy, bit slippery, so you always want to be careful what you do unless you've got the attention span of a deck chair in a hurricane like that moron. For idiots like that, it ain't a case of if, it's just when, really. And here's another 2-wheel moron that's definitely missing a few neurons. Keep your eye to the left. Watch what this reprobate does. Look, just pulls in the road without even looking. That mug's idea of critical thinking is starting a sentence with words other than what or I don't know. And then we got this classic from E&M. Tango Man doesn't see the car stop in front and smacks it in the rear. His idea of deep thought is remembering his PIN number on the 4th try. And here's Musa giving us a perfect example of what a 1 brain cell, 2-wheel mobile organ donor looks like as he just goes through the red light, dodges a bike, dodges cars, all in a day's work for him. This is from Millsy, just approaching this junction. Keep your eye on the right, you're going to see the idiot on the bike. There he comes. His brain processing information like a fax machine would process an email as he just hits the back of the car. He's the sort of bloke that thinks trial and error is a career path to follow. So from riding into the back of cars to almost riding into pedestrians, keep your eye out to the left for the moron who's more inbred than cheese and pickle. Look, green man's displayed, people are walking across and he just barges through. That moron's thought process is more delayed than a replacement bus service. Well, that's it for this one, everybody. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And a special thank you to Robert K, David M, Greg P and Ann J for your super thanks. Much appreciated. I'll put a playlist up on there on the right if you want to watch some more. Have a good weekend and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.